All right, we are live this morning. All right, let's see here. Let me turn this up like this. Get us going right there. All right, try to get this thing locked up in here before we get a bunch of people. Always better, hey? Let's see. I got everything plugged up in cords right now, so I got stuff all over the place. Let's see here. Move this over. A little bit more. About there. What is up? Thank you for coming in so early. Hope you're doing good today. I got to fix this stuff on my monitors. I can't do that through my phone. My phone is hooked up in my mount right now. When I go back through and rewatch this live later, I'll go through and fix my moderator list again too. I gotta add some more people in there. But hey, I hope everybody's doing good this morning. I'm gonna turn again, another piece of cedar into a roach clip. That's what Grumpy does. I have, let's see, one piece on the lathe, and then I have 5 pieces down here ready to go. So I don't think I'm gonna turn all that on the live by no means, but if I have a good morning and we get some good turns going, there's no telling. At least I have the material ready. Good morning, Dan. Hope you're doing good. Hope y'all got that coffee ready. It's a little chilly out here this morning. I got my heater going again. It's not cold. It's just got a chill. Once I get to moving around, I'll warm up. But we got 64 out here this morning, which is not bad at all. Like I said, it's just a slight chill in the air. So I got my little heater going to knock the chill off. Other than that, it's going to be a good morning. Got my coffee over to the side. Goodness gracious, got to get my chair ready. Oh, that gum bucket in the way. Yeah, we got my heater going on a different breaker this morning, so we shouldn't have no issues with the heater and the lathe and all going. Oh, let's see. We should be getting with it though. All right, we got 11 people in here already. That is nice. But yeah, I'm fixing to get with it. Not gonna be a bad piece. This one's a little off shaped while I'm so far away. It's almost hitting the tool rest right here, so I'm gonna come through, knock it down a little bit, and then as I go, I will adjust it accordingly. You got to keep that rest so close to your piece. It helps keep that tool from getting hung in there and bending down when you have a bad catch if you got it close. And then your damn fingers can get pulled down in there too. So the closer that piece is, the smaller that gap is, less likely you're going to get anything stuck. Excuse me, y'all. Alright, that's enough of that. Blow the dust and the fuzzies out of my dust mask. Make sure I don't have no little creepy crawlers in there. I am out here in my garage, so no telling who made it a home the night before. Alright, I gotta adjust this mask. So I tightened everything up last night so it wouldn't come apart again on me this morning. Not to say that that's going to be the problem. It's probably still going to come apart. It's an older mask. It's about time for me to get a newer one. The elastic on this one's just starting to wear out a little bit. So it pulls through the tabs easier, I guess. Alright, here we go. Okay. Put that on, tighten this bad boy up. Cedar is nasty to my sinuses, so I have to mask up. I have looked at some microphones that I'm probably going to order. I'm still beating myself in the head on which one to get, but I do have one in mind, so I'll order it before the weekend's out. Alright. Okay, here we go. My grandkids are here and everybody's still asleep. So if Grumpy shuts down for just a second and walks away, that might be because one of them woke up and I got to go get them situated. But yeah, I'll try to pause or shut the live down if I can realize what's going on. But they should stay asleep because they're in the back of the house. I'm on the other side of the house and they shouldn't hear any of this noise. Good morning, Patricia. I hope everybody's doing good. Like I said, this is going to be a piece of cedar that I'm doing into a roach clip. Let me knock it back off here for a second. Not really much sapwood. It's mainly heartwood, so it's going to have the darker reds and stuff in there. But, alright, let's get with it. Enough of the babble. Get on with the show. Please hit that like, everybody. Alright, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. There's some speed going. Let me move my phone. Alright, alright. Y'all see me moving over here, I'm loosening this little bolt right here so I can tighten my tailstop and give it more pressure. still got a flat spot right there. Alright, please hit that like, everybody. Subscribe, throw some comments out there. All that good stuff. Enjoy your coffee. And we're getting at it. I almost got it round. I got a little bit of flat right here. And a little bit right there. So that's about the length I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it off there and there. But alright, we get back at it. Good morning, Dad. All right, we're there. Knock the noisemaker off for just a minute. Ooh, excuse me. Hey, Deland, thank you for coming this morning. Alright, good morning to everybody that's tuned in. Cedar. It's all the heartwood pretty much. There's not much sapwood in there, but it's got some gorgeous colors going in there. It's going to be another roach clip. This is what we did yesterday. Piece of cedar, and that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to turn her down right here, get it ready for my clip, get all my little designs and stuff into it. Not really sure what I want to do with it. I know when I do the cedar right now, because this is a little dry, a little rough, and I don't use the traditional tools, so I guess that makes it a little harder to get as clean of an edge as I can get. So I got to do a lot of sanding. So when I do any kind of sharp edges to this, anything like that, once I sand it down, it's going to soften them up. So that's the only thing I don't like about the way I sand and do it, is I can't always keep my design in there. But I'm getting better, learning how I'm doing it. So did I miss anything? Oh, time change. Yeah, that time rollback. Yeah, that's crazy. Heck, we could be like Arizona and just, don't even acknowledge it. I don't think they do the daylight savings time over there. My sister-in-law lives over that way. I think Woodtucker lives over in Arizona too. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna babble for just a second, get me a little bit of coffee. Yeah, I'm normally a 1 cup at least kind of person in the mornings, but I'm excited to get up and start this. So y'all are my cup of coffee. I don't have it. Maybe a few sips going into it. Right. Get up earlier every day. I feel you. I like the early time though. With my back and stuff, I'm better early in the mornings. Earlier the better, because as the day progresses, my pain levels and stuff start kicking up. But yeah, when I need to do something, yep, early is my game. I used to be a night owl, so I'd stay up super daggum late, and I still got up early, just not as early. I don't know, but yeah, I realized I need my sleep, and then I am an early bird, so yeah, works out for me, I guess. Oh goodness. And yeah, I'm one of them that'll, what you call it, wake and bake, but it's not really a wake and bake, it's a wake and medicate. But I don't like engulf the whole cigarette or nothing like that. A little here and there, a little here and there. So I hope everybody's enjoying their coffee. I hope everybody's gonna have an awesome day. And if you're on the other side of the pond, I hope your day went awesome and you have a great night. All right, put that back up. Get me a little bit of water to wash all this dust away. Oh goodness. New great granddaughter. That means she's a newborn, right? She'll get that sleeping through the night down. But you gotta love them grandbabies. Excuse me. We get ours every other weekend. I have them asleep over with Mimi and Grumpy, so that's just awesome. I said it won't be long. They'll be done growed up and not want to do that no more, but gotta enjoy it while they're still little. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna mask back up and get back at it. I hope I hope everybody's morning is awesome. Please hit that like and subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. I gotta sharpen that. That thing is dull. cedar. Hey, good morning, soldier. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Mr. Roy. Dan, see that you guys could go. All right, buddy. Have a good morning. Be safe out there. Thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate all the support. I said I don't expect a lot of people to show up when I do this because I start off so early, but I figure it's one of the easier times for me to get into without inconveniencing people around the house here. Everybody's still asleep here. Alright, let's turn this off for a second. Alright, get me some coffee and everything and chit chat for a second. Yeah, see, I got a lot of pull and tear out right there. That's what I don't like. I gotta sharpen my bit, or at least rotate it, but I'll sand all that out. But when I go to sanding it, unfortunately, I'm gonna lose my little ridges right here. But this piece won't look bad. Yeah, I got to get me some of that shellac and denatured alcohol so I can make up a mix for that, because I want to start sealing some pieces like that, because I do like the shine and everything. And then if I use that type of sealer when I'm done, when I do get little bitty tear out holes, that shellac will fill that in and kind of blend it in, and it won't be as noticeable. But go back down to the bottom of the chat. What we got here? Thank you again for everybody that's came through and hit that like. I greatly appreciate it. I did amazingly crazy on my video the other day, or my live. I don't get crazy views. The live I did the other day had over 2,000 views on it, and that's exciting for me. Good morning, Tim. I think I done said good morning to everybody. I don't think I've missed anybody. I hope I haven't. But yep, everybody, if anybody's leaving, y'all have a great morning. Be safe out there and enjoy your day. I got all my sandpaper ready. I still ain't made it to the hardware store yet, so I still have to get some of them finer grits stacked or stocked back up. But I got enough to get this here done. I said today I do have to go to the store. I got to make some more blanks. Desperately. Good morning, Matthew. I hope you're doing good. Here's one of my wood spirits I've done. I did this little guy a long time ago. Let's see, are we in there? There we go. Well, I did him in 21. It was been a hot minute. I'm gonna put some magnets on the back of this one, some of them little earth magnets, make a little refrigerator deal for it. All right, just a little morning medication to get the day going. But yeah, gonna put the mask on and get with the sanding. Now I can take and I'll take my sandpaper and wrap it on a small dowel that'll help me fit in these grooves right here and sand it down that way, and that does help me keep some of that line in there. This down here will stay. I'll take that a little bit deeper once I sand it down some. Not a bad looking piece. I said I just got to get better and not as heavy handed with this dry wood, because I have some small tears. And then like I said, that right there, you can see it a little bit. So we'll sand all that out. All right, babble. Oh, Mr. Roy, I said something in your live the other day about some woodland I've done. This little guy's not done, but I did that so far. Woodland with those flex cut knives. This is a piece of basswood from the one of the hobby stores. But I don't trust myself holding that knife when it comes to sliding and making them cuts and everything, because I can't tell how much pressure I'm putting in, and I'm afraid I'm gonna slip right off and get my finger. So yeah, I'll do it every now and then. When I'm having a good day with my hands, I'll play with the knife. Alright, let me put my mask back on and get with it. I'm knowing my luck, the longer I stand here, one of the babies is going to wake up. Well, I say babies, they not babies no more, but I still call them my babies. Alright. Ooh, that cedar is getting in my nose already. Right? I know, I saw that in your video not long ago. Got lucky on that one. Yeah, I've had some good cuts and stuff, and even with what I got now, because I'll go to feeling my edge or wiping my edges off, and I can't tell how hard I'm hitting them. It's not. Let me give you some reference. Like that little edge right there, I'll rub that off, or I'll rub it like that, and I end up pushing too hard, and I'll have a little slices. Here's a good one, but oop, there we go. Little slices in the tip of my finger from them dang things, but. That's my own fault. Alright, y'all, here we go. I'm babbling. Alright. I'm going to start with a little bit of 120 and then go 150 to 243, what is it, 320, 400, 600, and going down. Thank you, Tim. I never know what I want to do. I just start randomly getting at it. I just try not to repeat anything that I do, but it's just that small of an area, it's hard not to get on a repetitive pattern sometimes. Oh, I do. I wear a glove whenever I try to carve, just because I know I can't trust my nerves and whatnot when I'm doing it. But now when I power carve, I don't wear a glove when I power carve. Be careful when you're turning with loose clothing and stuff around your lathe. I have my sleeves pulled up, but they are baggy at my elbow, and if you reach across and your sleeve catches that motor, it's gonna wrap up. And on a bigger lathe, it can be nasty. This little lathe, it'll break to piece before it hurts me, but it's still good practice to keep your sleeves and your hair, anything like that, away from your motor or your chuck, any of your pieces. You have to be careful. You have to respect the tools you work with because they can bite you. Okay, this is a piece of 150. Yeah, I use a wooden dowel. Anything, basically I use anything that's got the diameter that's small enough to fit in that little cove. I started with a dowel, and then the last piece I used was just an old rusty spade bit, but the diameter is smaller to where it'll fit down there. So you can use, a good trick to use so you're not guessing is just have a box of drill bits, because you know each bit's gonna go smaller and smaller, and then just wrap your sandpaper right there around it and use that roundness to help. Oh yeah, I use as many tricks as I can. That's about perfect right there. And then once I get my big scratches out of the deep spots like that, I'll try to hold the sandpaper in a curve like that, but don't let it crease. If you let it crease, you'll get that line, and then you'll get that line in your sanding. But if you can hold it soft and it's a soft enough paper, it'll hold that shape, and that helps too. All right, going up to 240. just depends on the style of the way people turn. Some people hold the tool up against their side and lock it in against their side and kind of lean with their body back and forth to direct the tool. And then some people like to use just their hands, you know, and then a smaller tool, it's easier to get that finer detail. But I've seen some people take a daggum 4-foot tool and do the same kind of piece. It's just, it's preference and what you get used to using, I guess. Alright, going to 400. Yeah, 600. Hey Josh, how you doing? Another piece of cedar. All right, Tim, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have an awesome day. Stay safe out there. $1,200. I'm good. Alright, y'all. Y'all chit chat with yourselves for just a second. I gotta let my pups outside. They just woke up. Won't take me but just a minute, y'all. Well, alright, I got my pups out back for a minute. And my grandson woke up. Okay. We do sleeping arrangements around here. We got I got a sleep number bed because of my back. That looks awesome right there, y'all. But there's some pull out right there. But I have a sleep number bed, and it's adjustable. You can make it real soft, real firm, whatever. And then we have a full-size bed in our spare room. But when the grandkids come over, they take turns sleeping. One will sleep in the front bed with me, and one will sleep in the back bed and with Grumpy. And it was my grandson's turn to be in the back. Well, I got up at like 5 o'clock this morning and been out here, and I had everything turned off in the living room and stuff to where, it would stay dark and, not be noisy or whatnot. Well, he woke up, had a fit because nobody was in there with him. And so, yeah, wife just woke up and come out here, letting the dogs out and all that stuff. So, yeah. Oops. Hey, thank you, Matthew. It's looking good. It's real thin. It's real dry, so it pulls out super easy. But the grain in this one is just awesome. I love all that. And then I still have to hit it with 1500. I'm gonna go across it with that my 1500 grit, and then I'm going to put that Yorkshire on there, and that's gonna darken it up just a touch, and it's really gonna pop. But let me go get my dogs inside real fast. Yeah, come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're going to have all kind of way. Come on. Let's go. All right. I'm coming back. Grab me some coffee. Grandson's in there watching some cartoons. Mimi's in there making her some coffee, so all is good. The puppies are out and back inside. And they won't be ready to eat for another hour, so I got time to get with it. I'm gonna try to turn another. I'm gonna once I seal this one up, I'm gonna put another piece on there and get at it. Oh, good morning to anybody that's just tuned in. Grumpy's playing with some cedar, and if you're new to my channel, this is what I do. I make my roach clips out of cedar, epoxy, whatever I can get my hands on to turn. I love it. All right. Ramses. Okay, is it Ramsey? Put 1 for Ramsey, 2 for Ramses. I want to pronounce your name correctly. Ramses. Okay, so I've been saying it right. Okay, so it is Ramses. All right, that's awesome. I didn't want to be mispronouncing it or anything. That's pretty cool. All right, everybody, Ramses is over there, I believe, in Egypt, close to the pyramids, and that's just like so awesome. Y'all need to go check out this channel. It is awesome. Some beautiful stuff, and if you're into the pyramids and that kind of history and just mystery, it's awesome. Nice, nice. That's just too cool. Good morning, Growbox. Man, give me an email. We'll see what we can do. Yes, sir. I appreciate the support too. I want to help as many people as I can because people give me the help. That's what I like about this community. I mean, we need to help each other. We need to pick each other up instead of like, ooh, they're doing it better than me. I'm going to beat them down. No, we don't need no hate in the world. We need a bunch of love and a bunch of peace and just a bunch of lifting everybody up. That's what we need. The world would be so much better if everybody was just a little bit nicer, smiled a little bit more, you know. Spike, good morning, sir. Check this one out. It's another piece of cedar. I'm fixing to go over it with 1500, and then I'm going to put the Yorkshire on there and set it to the side and start another one. I have like 5 of these things out here that I could get with. I got to stack up for the 13th. I got that Planet 13 event that I'm going to attend. They invited me to sell my clips and stuff up there. So yes, sir, I got to get me a bunch. I'm hoping. Now I know I'm not gonna go up there and make millions, but I would sure like to go up there and sell about 10 or 20 clips. That would be awesome. It dang sure help the channel out. All right, I've been babbling. Let me get another sip of my coffee and get back at it. Ooh, we might have to make a cup of coffee here shortly. We need bigger cups of coffee for the lives. Mental note, we gotta write that down. Oh, that would be awesome to see right there. Like I said, I love the pyramids and stuff like that. If I could jump into a time machine and go back to see something being created, oh, you better bet I'm going right there. Cause no, I just don't believe that people rolled stones on logs. You know, nope, nope, nope. There's some mystery to that creation right there, and I would love to experience and see that. Would definitely love to experience it in person. Like I said, I ever hit the lottery, that's what I'm definitely. I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Egypt. I'm going all over the place. With my anxiety riddled self, I'll just get me a couple of cartridges and hit the road. All right, let me get back at this, y'all. Y'all have a great morning, and thank you so much for tuning in. And then again, this last grit's 1500. And I want to go explore some castles. I love the castles and stuff like that. And I would love to be able to go and hit the scenery and explore a bunch of old. I want old castles. Yeah, that would be just awesome. Alright. I can take the mask off and stuff now with the sanding done. I got my Yorkshire polish. I saw that in chat the other day, Spike. What was y'all when you said what you wanted me to say? Worcestershire, or was it like Worcestershire sauce? Because yeah, my crazy old hillbilly accent, all them words sound crazy when I start talking. All right, this is gonna darken up, y'all, and oh, it's gonna look good. Look at that. Oh, I love it. All them grains just popped out and said, here I am. Was that Worcestershire? Let's see. Worcestershire? I don't know. That's some of my anxieties, is I get tongue-tied and my vocabulary, it's not what I wanted it to be. And so yeah, some words tie me up. It is like, am I saying it right? Am I saying it wrong? And it bothers me. But you know, that's what I'm using this YouTube for, is to get me out of that. If people get a good laugh out of me, then hey, I think I did my job. Because like I said, we need to spread more laughter and love than all this daggum hate. I'm an old hothead with a hidden hippie inside. I'm just kind of rubbing that wax in. I'm putting a fair amount of pressure. I'm trying not to put too much pressure because I don't want to break my end right there, but I am pushing down on this a good bit. And then right here, if I had my friction, I don't know if that's not really friction polish, my own shine juices, I guess I could call it, when I make that would fill in some of these little tear out spots. But right now, I think the wax is going to show some little white specks here and there once I turn it off. But we'll see in a minute. Alright, a little bit more. Yeah, I got some undiagnosed ADHD and issues going on, and had all that when I was a kid. They tested me when I was in elementary school and stuff like that, because I would daydream a lot, as they would put it, and they said I wasn't paying attention. But that's just how I always have functioned. Like, if I'm trying to learn something, as silly as it sounds, I have to be doing something else while I'm messing with that, because it's like my brain just won't slow down. I can't focus on what I'm doing. So it's like I'll sit there and draw or sketch or something, but while I'm doing that, my brain, I'm listening to what's going on and absorbing what I need to learn, but I have to keep myself busy at the same time. It's hard to explain. I don't know where that came from, squirrel, but yeah, that's part of Grumpy's craziness. This is Purdy. All right. Now, throw that away. I'm going at it with a dry piece now. I'm gonna speed it up and kind of varnish that into the piece, and then rub any excess off. See how it's coming off of it, putting into the cloth right there. That's perfect. I want it to be dry. And then get it out of the grooves. The bottom right here where I'm at now, I'm going to cut that with my bandsaw, and then I'll sand that down by hand and do what I'm doing now, but just do it by hand. I do that whenever I'm watching other people's lives and stuff like that to give me something to do. Alright, this piece is almost done with the lathe work, yo. Then when I get my own shine juice, oh goodness, that's going to really make them look good. I mean, they look good like this. And this away here, the thing I love about this is that shine will dissipate a little bit. And it's sealing the wood. It's giving it a little bit of moisture to keep it from trying to crack. This is so dry, I do not think there's going to be any issues with it trying to crack in the future. But it'll also retain that cedar smell, because you're not sealing it up with, you know, like a urethane or something. So still smells nice. This is gonna look good, y'all. Y'all ready? Oh, look at that. Put the lid on my polish here. I need to get no dust in there. That is pretty. Let me loosen the pressure off of that now. There we go. Oh, look at that. I love that grain. Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan from Hedrick's Homegrown Aquatics. That's my good buddy. He kind of had his foot up my butt telling me I needed to do this YouTube stuff. Shoot, from a long time ago. He's been on me for a few years to do this. And like I said, my anxieties and stuff, I've never, just Grumpy's batshit crazy. I say I don't like people. I like people that have good hearts and everything like that. I just don't like the trolls and idiots, and I know the world's full of it. So I just assume sit here in my little hole in the wall and not bother nobody and nobody bother me, right? But you know, I've lived like that too long. I got to get back out there. That's pretty, yo. All right, I'm gonna set that in the box. I'm gonna jump on here with another piece. I got it. I've already done a couple of two-tones. Let's see. Let me knock this piece in here. This has got some. This will be a brighter color. Oh, I still need to turn the handle for this. My lathe. Y'all can't see. Y'all can barely see my handle jiggling. Whoop, where my finger at? Whoop, right there in that corner. All right. The orange part, this old cheap cast metal, is what's stripped out. The bolt that it goes onto, it's fine. I just need to epoxy this piece back on there or something, but it's how I tighten my tailstock down and keep it locked in, and then I twist the end of it to move this back and forth for extra pressure. But I got to keep a little piece of a wrench. This was my, back when I rode my motorcycle way back in the day, this was the wrench to get underneath there to break the oil plug. I had to cut it off. And so, but yeah, it's perfect to fit right there. So I need to grind it down a little bit skinnier right here, make like a tang for it or whatever, and then turn me a handle and knock it into. But that would be pretty cool. I haven't done it yet. Grumpy got 100 million other things he's trying to do at one time. That's my brain is like a computer with 100 browser tabs open. That's about the best way to explain it. My daggum head ping pongs all over the place. It's like ping pong game going on up there. All right, got her in there. And this piece ain't gonna be too bad. It's gonna be slinging a mess. There's some bark on it still. But that's the thing about it, with it being so dry, is it'll start knocking splinters off like that as I'm knocking the corners down, you know. But man, it makes some beautiful clips. There you go. I feel you. That's what I say about this community. I think this community. I'm not judging nobody. I got my own issues. I am batshit crazy. I'm depressed. I'm happy. I'm a damn roller coaster all over the place. But this community, it's like when you sit back and you listen to other people, and when they get to talking and you hear other people's journey and their story, it's like daggone, we're all so damn close. That's why that's what drives me so damn crazy about the world is everybody, we're all human. I mean, we all make mistakes. We all goof up, but everybody, if everybody quit judging everybody and just worried about being nice and helping everybody, that's just boom, we'd be so much better. And then I think all of us that feel batshit crazy wouldn't feel as batshit crazy. But I love this community because it's like I feel like I can relate to so many people in the community, and then when you feel like you can relate to that person, it's like it just, I don't know, it's weird. I've only met y'all through the computer and stuff, and I've been in here for so long, and then like I said, I'm in a lot of people's lives, but my damn crazy ass just don't talk. Like I was in the Shoups live last night whenever they were turning and stuff. I was laying in bed watching and seen the bowl go flying and stuff like that, but I didn't say nothing until I was going to bed. When I went to go to bed, I told everybody good night. I do that in a lot of people's lives. I'll give you the hearts and hit that thumbs up, but it's just I get overwhelmed sometimes, and so I won't chat. But New Roots Dynamic, good morning. Hobo Hideaway, good morning. That's the way. All right, let me see. Anybody that's just tuning in, I just turned this piece right here. It's all cedar. I'm going to attach my clip down here and cut it off here, cut it off there, clean up my ends, and do that. But I'm sorry. I know this ain't very professional, y'all, but I was not prepared, and I got to make me another cup of coffee. But y'all chat amongst yourselves, and please stick around, because when I come back, I'm going to turn the machine on and knock this one right here down. See how many we can get going. Alright, y'all. I didn't get lost. I'm coming. Daggum went in there to get coffee, and the time change and all that's messed me up, and I had to feed the dogs, and I gotta throw them out the back door real quick, and then we'll get back at it. Get this right here. This is where I want my OBS software and stuff set up to where I could have my music and stuff playing. I got it set and working last night with the scenes in my camera, so I'm getting there. Ooh, too close. I almost got it. I have to figure out how to flip it for the vertical and the horizontal and stuff now. Go, be good girl. Go be good girl. Go be good girl. Alright, this daggone bucket's gonna make me, I'm gonna break my damn neck on that bucket before it's over with. Alright, I am back for just a quick second, and we got 11 people. Thank you. Well, drop to 9. Alright. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Anybody new? I'm turning cedar, turning it into some roach clips that I do. This is the first one that we just did. I'll go through with my bandsaw. I'm going to cut it here, polish that end, and then here is one that's done from the other day. I still have to polish the end right here, but this one, like I said, it's going to lose some of that shine, so here you go. It's not as dark, but then again, it's also a different part of the tree, different piece of the wood, but it's all cedar. That's what I like about it. It all has just so much different color and whatnot. But yep, that's what we're doing. I'm giving my dogs a few minutes to do their thing out back, and then I gotta let them back in. But in the meantime, I'm gonna sit here and get a little more of my morning medication here. Uh-oh, who we got? Somebody being mean? We don't want mean people. I don't know, maybe you was joking, I don't know. But let's say a horrible stand-up comedian has joined the chat since you are company. Cedar is just it's hard to work with. It is temperamental. You think it's nice and solid and stable, and it can blow apart because the way the grains. Like if you could get a hold of that cedar that Jordy gets, that first growth cedar, that's the growth rings are just so daggum tight. Oh my goodness, I would love to get a bunch of that to play with the lathe. I could just imagine. Let's see. Let me break this out. This has some tight growth rings in it, but this I don't believe is no first growth cedar. You know, but I mean, if it is, that would be awesome. But I would imagine that first growth cedar would have even tighter rings in it than this. And you just, because that's what gives you all the circles and stuff like that. That's the different layers in there, right? And so, yeah, that first growth cedar, yeah, man, that would be cool on the lathe. All right, let me get my pups back in there at the door. All right, my dogs are spoiled. They're not dogs. They think they're we call them people persons. They don't stay outside. They're inside dogs. So you let them outside when it's hot. 10 minutes, their tongue's dragging the ground, and they're ready to come inside. The big dog now, she plays. She has no self-preservation mode or anything when it comes to playing, and she'll play till she has a stroke if I let her. I have to stop her and make her come in. Oh man, I wish I had the beach access that Jordy's got when it comes to finding wood. I mean, I'd have to build me a daggone a dog house in the backyard with it. I'd have so much junk drug up to the house, the wife would be done got mad at me. But every time he goes beachcombing, I'm like, ooh, that's a cool piece. Ooh, that's a cool piece. You know, there's just so much stuff up there for him to get. Oh goodness, what's going on? I hope everybody's in a good mood. I know. I'm gonna get out of chat. That's gonna bug me. I hope everybody's in a good mood and getting along. I want everybody to be happy up in here, yo. You know, I said everybody's different. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. Just keep it nice. All right, I'm gonna throw my dust mask on and I'm gonna get back at it. I know don't nobody want to listen to me babble. They want to see this beautiful cedar come to life. So yeah, we're gonna start making some roach clips, get some happy vibes going. I wish I could get my music going. I said that's next. I got the scenes figured out for the OSB. Now I got to figure out how to do like Perry does and have my music. I don't want it real loud, but I want it loud enough to where when I'm not talking, that's all you hear. Because I'm gonna get noise canceling set up to where you won't hear my vacuum and my lathe. So it'd be like Mr. Roy's setup. It'd be quiet while I'm working unless I talk. So I want to have music playing in the background until y'all hear me talk. Okay, cool. It's all okay. I look in the chat and I can't see everything. I just see little bits and pieces, and like I said, cool, cool. As long as everybody's being happy and getting along, that is all I want. All right, y'all. I'm gonna turn the noisemakers on and get on with it. I've been babbling enough. Gotta love that medication. Ooh, y'all see all the pieces. When it's like this and I'm knocking the edges off, this stuff goes flying everywhere. A little bit of color. That's gonna look cool. I'm gonna try to leave that in there. Ooh, we're going to cut. Alright, this is where it's gonna be my mess ups most likely. Alright, you can see a little bit of color in the deep part of this one here too, peeking out, but there's not much. This is more sapwood. I think what this right here is just a knot where a branch was trying to go through, and then the same thing down here, because when you go from end to end looking at it, you don't see any color like that in there. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna I'm gonna try to make a bead, a ball, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna try to round it out right here and keep this in there as much as I can, because I think that's gonna look cool once it polishes up. But I couldn't see that while it was turning, so I went ahead and put my marks there, and I'm gonna taper down from here and then round that out, and then I'll probably have some little bevel or something in there. Again, this one's gonna stand up on its end, so the bottom will be flat. I don't know how I'll do all that yet, but I know I want to make a ball right there and keep that. Hey, good morning, Aim. Welcome in. Thank you for coming by, buddy. I appreciate that. CapCut's what I use. I use the free version of it. You can go. A lot of people don't like it because they say it leaves the CapCut watermark or whatever on the thing. I've gone through my settings and turned that off. So it don't show any of that. But I'm debating on trying to get set up. I've had a lot of issues with using their free stuff that's on there, and then they've changed their layout here lately to where if you're doing the free version, they only give you, I think, 10 free uses of the transition sessions a month or something like that. And that's eh. If I slow myself down to only putting a video out a week, then that would be okay. I just can't go crazy trying to edit a bunch of stuff. But I'm on the fence on trying to see if I can't work it into my budget to start paying for an editing program. That way I can get access to all the transitions and stuff. Because half the stuff I want to play with and use is the stuff in the pro versions and junk. So it's like, yeah, we got to get. Right now I pay $10 a month for my Suno and for my music. And then the only YouTube creator that I'm actually membership to and pay for is Jordy Johnson's, and I don't have it in my budget right now. Hopefully if I can start getting to where I have a steady income coming in, I'll work it into my budget to get into some of these other channels. But right now all I can do is subscribe and comment. I don't do shorts. I'll watch other people's stuff, but me personally, I don't want to promote shorts by producing them or making them or whatever, because I feel that it's killing everybody's attention span and draws away from the longer videos. I know you're gonna have people that skip through the videos anyway, but I'd rather have somebody skip through my long video than, not watch any of it, because I put a lot of work into making that video. So I want people to watch it. I'm just sitting here trying to, propped up against my chair, trying to take a little pressure off my back for a minute or two. Right. Yeah, that's me. And I don't have a big subscription base. I don't have a bunch of people watching my stuff. But my best views so far was the live I did the other morning. That thing caught 2,000 and something views the time I was on, and that was exciting and surprising. I don't have them kind of numbers, but getting there, I guess. I just have to be more set up to where I'm more steady, because I know when you're doing work, you'll get a lot of people watching, and then when you slow down starting to talk, I know a lot of people start leaving the lives because they want to see the action. So yeah, I probably lost a lot of views when I went and got my coffee and all that earlier. But oh well. Let me wipe this off my glasses. I don't know how I got them smudged up. I haven't touched them. Big old smudge right in my center of my field of view. There we go. Much better. Alright, everybody. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a ball out of that and then taper all that back down. I'll probably, heck, it might be 2 balls on there and get that one and then just taper into a stand. But you see how dry and I don't know how to even describe that. It's rough. But I'm getting some little catches and tear outs. I know it's time for me to turn my bit and then sharpen them, but I'm going to finish out this morning with them and just clean it up with some sandpaper. But all right, here we go. Put my mask on and get back at it. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Please hit that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I drop a video every week. Alright, here we go. Dust mask is on and we're getting rid of it. Woo! Oh, not down a little bit. To see how much room I had to play with. doing now. What's up, Bubba? Hold on. I'm doing my season this time. It's dusty out here, man. You can't be out here right now with all my dust. I'm doing my YouTube stuff.
I want to watch you.
You can't, baby, not with all my dust. Come on, let's go inside. I gotta get you a dust mask and you can hang out. When I get you a dust mask, you'll be able to hang out. But I don't have one to fit you right now, okay? I'll be in just a few minutes and I'll make us some muffins. How about that?
Okay.
Alright, cool deal. Close the door. Gotta love it. My grandson wanted to hang out and watch me. And if I wasn't doing this cedar, I'd let him hang out in here for a few minutes, but this cedar dust just goes everywhere, and he don't have a mask, and he really needs to wear a mask. I don't want to get his sinuses boogered up. He is snot 6, 7. I'm bad with numbers. He's 6 or 7. I know that sounds bad, but my daughter's 31. My granddaughter is 11, and I believe he's 6. Yeah, I do believe it's 6. Okay, I just got side-eyed and crazy looked by the Mimi, but the grandson is 7 and the granddaughter is 10. Like I said, I keep them babies. In my brain, they're still my little babies. They still fit in my arm and all that good mess. Go back inside, Bubba. You can't hang out.
He didn't tell you you could hang out.
Go back inside. I'm going to get you a mask. Next time you stay over, you can hang out with me. He's in there. See, Mimi? He said I could. That's my little man. He loves his grumpy. I got to get him a mask and all to hang out with me. But yeah, that's what I am. I'm not grandpa. I'm actually grumpy. My grandkids, they call me grumpy. If I'm out in public or I walk into a school event and they see me, it's not grandpa, it's grumpy. And they come running and give me a big old hug. People go to looking. I love it. You know, because yeah, I used to be real grouchy and real grumpy. And so that's where grumpy came from. And then I always said that, let me take this off for just a second if I'm going to have story time. Oh, sorry, y'all. But when they were born, I'm only 48. I'll be 49 in December. And so when they were born, I joked and said, I'm too daggum young to be a grandpa. I said, I'm not a grandpa. I'm a grumpy. And my dad, he was like me. Rest his soul, he passed away. But he had bad back and bad problems, and he was always grouchy. And my daughter called him Grandpa Jim. That was his little nickname. And so, yeah, I wanted to carry on that grumpy tradition. And so, yeah, I'm grumpy. My wedding band, let me see. I got to get a new one. This is one of those groove bands. It breaks, snags, get lost, whatever. They'll replace it for free. You just got to pay shipping. And I got Grumpy stamped in this one, so I had to pay an extra 15 or 20 bucks to get all that done. But it's halfway faded. The bottom side of it, you can't hardly see it no more. But it was real bright and stuck out. There we go. Get a little closer. Grumpy. But yep, that's me. I was a Grumpy. Right? Not until you're 40. Well, see, man, I ain't gonna lie. I stepped off into the role of life real early. I hope there ain't no kids watching. I did put this is not made for kids, but I'm keeping it friendly. But me and my wife, we were kids having kids. We were young and dumb, and we said, oh yeah, we're ready to have a family. You know, my daughter wasn't no accident. You know, our dumb selves was just stupid and thought we was growed up and ready to be grown ups, and we damn sure wasn't. I was 17 and she was 16. You know, so like I said, we was kids having kids. You know, so and then my daughter. She married her high school sweetheart. He went into the Navy. They moved away. She got pregnant with my granddaughter, and that's whenever right there is when I quit taking all my pain pills. I got away from all the opioids and everything, and started doing nothing but herbal. And all my grandness started turning around then. You know, once I knew I was gonna be a grandpa and I had them little babies, it's like I started changing my ways. But and I got off all the daggum pills too, which that helped tremendously. But 7 o'clock. Let's dismiss that. That's a lot more color. Daggum. That's gonna look cool, yo. It's got a knot right there, and I got to be careful. I'll probably fill that with some CA glue or something, or some resin. But yeah, we was kids having kids. You know, we started off early, and so yeah. And then my daughter, she's 31. My son, he's 18, and yeah, we're doing our thing. I mean, life's life. Hey, good morning, Suzanne. Thank you for coming through. 50 was 16, 13, and 9. There you go. I said you gotta love them grandbabies, you know. I mean, and kids in general. You know, that's just it. We spoiled our kids the best we can. I mean, I'm sure everybody's in a tight boat, but you know, I always joke saying we're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and shoot, we've robbed Peter so much, and Paul don't want his money no more. We just check to check like everybody else, you know. And so, but we do our best to spoil the kids. You know, that's the thing about it. You know, it's like, hey, we still got some bills to pay, but yeah, Christmas comes up, they gonna get some good presents and stuff. You know, we make it work. But I guess that's everybody. All right, I'm babbling some more. I'm gonna hit me some coffee and put my mask back on and get with it. I got to hurry up and finish doing this because I told him I'd come in and make some muffins here in a little bit. That's Grumpy. Grumpy makes the chocolate chip muffins, and don't nobody do it better than Grumpy. Good morning, Perry. Hey, I've almost figured out this OBS. Yeah, I'm still lost as all get out of, but I've managed to create me a scene, well, two scenes that's got my camera and microphone from my phone as one scene, and then the camera and microphone from my other phone as a scene. So when I hotkeyed my buttons on the keyboard, so I'll hit the button and it'll go from here to in my box. I did a test live of that the other night, and it was only working microphone wise in my box, but I got it set up now to where it's picking up both microphones when it transfers back and forth. So next I got to figure out how to it's not how to put that plug in or whatever in there to run my playlist in the background. I want to get set up to where I do the music, but I won't be trying to play the music in the background until I get me a headset that's noise canceling that kills the tool noise out here. Once I get the tool noise dead, then I'll have music playing. All right, I'm babbling. Let me see. Anybody that's just tuning in, I've been on for a minute. This was the first piece I did. Again, it's cedar. I'm going to turn it into my roach clips. Anybody that hasn't seen my roach clips, this is some that we did the other morning. I spin it down like this, and then I attach the gator clip on there. Then I hand tie my thread and seal it all up, and then I'll polish the end right here. But let's see. Here's a pretty one too from the other day. But, yep, that's what we're doing. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get back with it. Again, thank you for tuning in. Please hit that like, subscribe, throw me some comments out there. I do go back and watch my lives after the comments are uploaded. For live comment, it takes you 16 to 24 hours, but I do go back and read all that. So, because I know I miss a lot of people talking while I'm working. So, but again, thank you to anybody that's out there. If I haven't said hello, good morning, hello, and thank you. trying to get some tear out. Thank you. I just zone out. I don't like with this one, with that spot, I wanted it to be like a planet-like look kind of thing, but it has a lot more color than what I thought, so the color is coming down into the pebbles here, but it's still, I try to taper it down. I want it to have a good center of gravity down here, so I want this one to be a little bit bigger than this one a little bit bigger, and kind of taper down. And with this cedar being so dry, I'm trying to get a lot of my tool marks out right here as I taper it down, but it's going to be better for me to start using sandpaper so I don't get a catch and have a blowout right there. But that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to start sanding. I'm going to start off with 120, 150, 240, 320, 400, 600, and go from there. But everybody that's watching, thank you. Please hit that like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I appreciate it. There we go, 120. All right, EW, thank you for tuning in, buddy. Have a good day. Be safe out there. Thank you, thank you. Wait till I put that polish on there. The grain will pop out. The color's gonna look good right here. It's got more color in it than I was thinking it had. There we go. 1,000. Now the Lord's lettuce, I ain't quitting that. But those stinky sticks, those cigarettes, no, I used to smoke that back in the day. I quit back in 2012 or 2013, one of those. I got it wrote down. I'm proud of that though, that was hard. But I used to love your pipe tobacco, your tobacco pipes. I got a nice Meerschaum pipe that I had because I used to love going and getting the cherry vanilla. I used to love smoking my pipe, but when I quit smoking cigarettes, you know, I got away from cigars, all of that. All I do now is just my my herbal cigarette, as I would call it. Alright, we're gonna go with a little bit of 1500. The bigger bit hit my thumb on that right there. Alright, here we go. Let me get up some of this loose stuff real quick. Careful doing the reach around on that lace. Your shirt getting hung up right there. You ain't gonna like it. I'm still not going to turn it off because when I turn it off, that's just going to reveal all that pretty color, and I ain't ready for that yet. Alright. Let's see. See, this is where I need that cut screen stuff because then I could just cut y'all to the box and then wipe all this down like I want to and then bring y'all back like, oh yeah. Alright, again, this is like I use this stuff on every daggum thing. I love it. Alright. Turn it way down to put this on there though, or it's gonna sling it all off. And see, even the sapwood's gonna darken up a little bit. And that's what I like about the cedar. And then all those grains that you really couldn't see before just jumped out and said hello. And you can see how it darkened up with the color right in there. Now this piece where that knot was kind of hollow, so I have a feeling I'm going to have some wax polish built up in there. But I'll take a real thin little piece of wire from a wire brush and flick that polish out and get it clean, and then I'll put some CA in there to seal it. If it even has a big hole, it might have turned out and gotten smooth, I don't know. We haven't turned it off yet. It took that polish and that paste and sucked it in pretty good. I'm gonna put some more in there. Oh, you got to go check out. Go to, if you've watched any of my videos, go to some of my mail call videos. I put everybody's link for any sticker, any channel that I got a sticker, or people I follow that I have a sticker of when I do my videos. All their links are in the description for that. But Robert C. Peters, he makes some 420 pipes, and he does some pretty cool stuff. He gets like olive burl and manzanita. He uses a bunch of daggum stuff. He lives in California, so the manzanita wood's all local around him. But he'll take and shape them up, and he uses some little 9-hole glass bowls and puts into them. Heck, hold on. While I'm babbling, I'm sitting here just a babbling. This is one of the pieces he's made. It's an olive burl, and he just cut it out, shaped it, got his hole in there, got his carburetor hole in a glass bowl off of Amazon, and no glue or nothing in it. It's pressure fitted in there so you can clean it and whatnot. But he done a grumpy one for me, and with acrylic paint and whatnot, and then I took some UV epoxy and put just over the paint job, because I used this, and so I didn't want to rub the grumpy off of there, and so I put the UV epoxy on there to preserve it. But that's one of Robert C. Peters' pieces that he does. He does some awesome pieces. Y'all go check him out. Let's see, this here's almost ready to turn off. I think it's probably ready. I'm just wanting to make sure I get enough oil into it. Yeah, it's looking good now. I'm gonna sit here and rub this in for a second more, and then I'll take and get some clean cloth and take all that wax back off of there. Turn it up and kind of varnish it in there. Woo, it's getting warm. Alright, Dan, be careful. Thank you for tuning in. Woo, that got hot. Another little clean piece. Just trying to get that excess polish off of there. I'll use a couple of little clean pieces to do that. Nice. Alright, here goes the grand reveal. Pow. Oh, that looks good. That color went all through that piece. Alright, let me take the pressure off of it so I don't split the end trying to turn it. There we go. No, nice. Look at that. That's cool. And I got a little bit of polish and stuff right in there. That's kind of, there's a hole. I don't know if y'all can see if the camera's picking it up good, but it's hollowed out right there a little bit, like a pit. Heck, I can't get my words right. But I'll take a little toothpick and and paper towel and squish through there and get all the polish out of that. And then what I'll do is I'll drop a couple of drops of CA glue and let it soak in right there to fill the hole. But that is awesome. I love the color in that right there. It almost comes all the way through. I guess it's at an angle right there because hole here and it's trying to be a hole right there. That's awesome. I like that. That came out pretty good. Oh, goodness. I had a lot of pressure on that piece. I'm going to get y'all closer. Here we go. Yes, here we go. That right there. I like that. And where it comes through on the bottom right there. But I'm going to cut it right here with my bandsaw so I can sand and polish the base of it. And then I'll lop that end off where I can attach my clip. But let's see. That is pretty cool. I like the way that came out. Thank you, y'all. There is some pull out right in here that I can see. But like I said, with this cedar, it's so dry, and the tools I use, I'm gonna have some pull out. Even if I have them sharp, I'm still just the way I get heavy-handed. It's gonna snag out on this grain a little bit. But yeah, when I do my shellac polish, when I get that mixed up, that right there will do real good because it'll fill those pieces. That shellac could fill that in, and I wouldn't have no polish to take out right there. Because once I start doing the shellac and denatured alcohol, I won't use the Yorkshire at that point. I'll just go through my regular sandpaper grits and then get it real fine. I'll probably step my sandpaper up to about 2,000 or more, and then won't use the Yorkshire. I'll just use the shellac to go over it, and that'll seal and shine it up like that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end the live on this one right here. I'm not gonna tie these, not just yet. I might jump in here later this afternoon and do another clip, or spin another clip and then tie all three at the same time. But the grandkids are awake in there, and I need to go in there and go ahead and play Grumpy and make them some muffins. Yeah, you see how flexible that is right there. So yep, I'll lop it off about halfway through that. I'm not gonna go way out here, so I'll have some thickness for the clip, but I'll cut it right there and then cut it right there. But set that aside. Let me take y'all off the mount and get a little seasick here. Woo. All right. Yeah, see, here's my other stack of cedar that I got ready to go. This one here, this is a bigger piece, a lot thicker piece. So I'm gonna dedicate this to something besides roach clips because it's a little bit thicker. I might try to do some snowmen or something in that one. I did some last year, close to Christmas time, and I haven't done it since. Let's see. There they go. Get y'all seasick. Sorry about that. But flip them around. I did these on the lathe last year out of pecan. And got some bug holes in it. But yep, I'm gonna do some more of those, and I might use this piece of cedar because it's about the good size where I can get maybe one or two out of that. But I might do that on a live too. We never know. But all right, y'all. I know I'm getting y'all seasick. Thank you so much for putting up with my crazy babble and tuning in this morning and having your coffee and watching my crazy show. Here's my extra stickers. There's Perry. We got him up out here. Bear, a bunch of people. Michael, Jordy, Ray, and Sandy DeLand. But then all my other stickers that I talked about, they're all up in there. So anybody got stickers, want to do a sticker trade, send me an email. We can trade stickers. Heck, if you want one of my stickers, send me an email. We'll work on it. My email address is in my description. Remember, if you do send an email, do not put a C in back. It's B-A-K, not B-A-C-K. I know a lot of people, it's just muscle memory. They type it out and hit that B-A-C-K. But, yep. All right, y'all. Y'all have an awesome morning. Thank you so much. It's Sunday. I'm not trying to get on my soapbox, but this is God's day. So y'all do what y'all can do. God bless everybody. Y'all have an awesome morning. Thank you. Hey, William, I seen you